So let's talk a little bit about documentation, and because this is actually a big one. That it's not sexy, it's not exciting, but I'll tell you what, it'll make the difference between having a positive experience with the IRS and your accountant or a negative experience. First of all, when you have, and what I mean by this is you hire a bookkeeper, okay? You hire a bookkeeper who is not your spouse and who is not related to you and can hold you accountable. Because that bookkeeper, you want to make sure that they're a professional bookkeeper. Bookkeeping, it's not a very expensive service, okay? It's not very expensive, but having that documentation and somebody who will really make sure that you're documented, that you've got things in place, that everything ties out, let me tell you what it'll do for you. First of all, you're never gonna have to worry about an IRS audit because you're gonna have all the documentation that you need, okay? Number two is, when it comes time to do your taxes at the end of the year, it's gonna be half as expensive, okay? Because you're going to turn over a really nice set of books to your accountant, and your accountant's going to say, wow, this is great. This is not going to be very expensive at all. Because most of the time we spend on doing tax returns is spent doing bookkeeping. I'll tell you, there's no question. Most of the time we spend is doing bookkeeping.
It reminds me of, I think, Karen. What's your partner's name again, real quick? Karen, right? Karen. Yeah. How much she loves working with my dad. And even you've said in the past, because my dad does a lot of my, like, not my main company, not Lurn, but he does a lot of my other companies, and he does the bookkeeping. And every time, like, I know that she would work with him, she's like, I love working with him because he gets me everything I need, like
he's all over it.
Yeah.
And he's an unusual one. Most of the time I say don't hire a relative. I would say your dad is kind of the exception that proves the rule type of guy. He's like all over it.
He keeps me in check. I'll tell you, there's only one person who can get me to respond to a text and answer questions that fast. It's him, because he doesn't let it go. And he doesn't forget stuff, which is, I guess it's the engineer in him. But yeah, he's very meticulous. And thanks to that, it allows me to be in accordance with everything. We have Milena now at Lurn. And she chased me down. You can't just put an Amazon charge on our credit card and say it's deductible. She says, can I get the receipt? What was it that you bought on Amazon? And exactly. by doing that's made me more aware, because all of a sudden some of my supplements are not showing up on my business credit card anymore. I'm pulling them off because I don't want Melena's gonna come at me later and be like, why is vitamin C on the Lurn credit card? So it's like, yeah, it makes me be more aware. And you're right, it just makes everyone's lives easier. And you know what? I can honestly say, everyone, I walk around every day with very little fear of an audit. As a matter of fact, at Lurn, we actually are doing a voluntary audit with a private company because we just wanted to make sure we have all of our ducks in a row. But I don't really walk around with a lot of fear of it. If they came in, all right, waste your time, because in the end, they're going to find I'm pretty much up to speed on everything and I've got everything done right. So you talk about documentation, how much it saves money. I just want to talk to all the entrepreneurs out there. Proper documentation gives you good sleep at night, because now I hate, by the way, this is a funny joke. It's a true story. I hate receipts. I don't know what it is with receipts. I have a deep innate hatred for them. I hate being handed receipts. I hate shoving them in my wallet. And there was when I first watched Iron Man, it was a really funny scene where someone's trying to hand him something and he puts his hands up and he goes, I don't like to be handed things. So like he makes his assistant, he's like, give it to her. And I am the exact same way with receipts. Like if I'm at the grocery store and they're handing me a receipt, I'm like, I could give it to my wife. Like I don't like receipts. But that part of me has begun to change. I really am trying hard now. Luckily, also, I buy most things online, so the receipts come into my email. But every entrepreneur I know is not good at documentation. I could be better, but they're not that good. And since day one, Tom, you have driven this home with us. Like, we've got to get better about it. And you're right, it's not sexy at all, but it's important. I will definitely say. Tom, so every receipt should be saved and like properly filed and like hardcore.
You know what? It's easy though. Just scan them. I'm a big believer that we do too much stuff ourselves as entrepreneurs, right? And there's a lot of do-it-yourself going on where you get an assistant, have somebody else do it for you, get a bookkeeper, get somebody else to do it for you, and let them scan the receipts. Just all you have to do is give them the receipt. It's no big deal. write what the purpose was for the expense, and just hand it over. No big deal. Let them scan it, file it electronically. You don't want to keep them physically. They're going to fade anyway, so don't keep them physically. Just do a good scan and make sure all the information's on there, and then you don't even have to worry about it.
Thanks for listening to The Fighting Entrepreneur with your host, Anik Singal.